Hello book fans. So in this video I want to talk to you about a book called Dog Run Moon. That is a collection of short stories by the author Callan. Callan lives in the American West and is a fishing guide. I believe that's his preferred job title. He's also a writer and he wrote this book of short stories. I came across it because I was interested in dirty realism, and after reading Bukowski and Raymond Carver, I was like, wow, I really love whatever this is. A friend told me it was dirty realism, searched dirty realism on Google, and Callan Wink's book of short stories was one that came up, and I thought that's great because a lot of Carver's endings in his short story collection, I think it was Cathedral, or was it What We Talk About When We Talk About Love? Anyway, a lot of his short stories there that I read, I was very confused by the endings, and although I liked the setup and the middle, the endings always left me with a strange taste in my mouth, like, okay, I didn't really quite get that. I think a lot of Carver's work was left open to interpretation. Anyway, so, discovering Callan Wink, book of short stories, dirty rhythm. I leapt on it, of course. And what else could I say? It's a recent publication in the book world. 2016 was published in August. And, yeah, did I like it? Yes. Man, I can tell you, I just enjoyed it. I just thoroughly enjoyed the read. So I'm going to tell you what I liked about it. Now first, writing style was just beautifully written. I mean, such poetic language and not overly done. Like, I think because of the topic material, it was about Montana, the American West, the people who lived there. It's not about kings and queens and the upper classes. It's about these really working class people and what's going on in their lives and the problems that they're facing. And that's why it's dirty realism, because it's just raw and it's about, real, in my opinion, real people with real down-to-earth problems. And maybe that's why I didn't think that, the language was too flowery and eloquent. Sometimes I read a novel and I think, oh God, what is this? Just author trying to use a lot of fancy words just for the sake of it. But I really felt that if we compare Callan Wink to a painter, that the tones and the shades that he used very suited his painting. And that's to say that the words that he used, the vocabulary, the lexic, they painted a beautiful picture of the scene. It was a joy to read, and words like, and I don't even know the pronunciation of this, but I believe it's skein, which is the shape, one of the shapes of a ball of yarn, and I didn't know that, and it was new to me, and skeins of fog covered the mountain. What a beautiful image that's created with words. It was just delightful to read that description. So it's beautifully written. The images are created with beautiful words, and elegiac, another word, elegiac, which comes from elegy. So it's something like poetic or relating to an elegy, something that expresses mournfulness or sorrow. So, just a word that I'd never heard before, never read before, never come across before, and I want to thank Callan Wink for that, because it's built my vocabulary for sure, and he's done it in a way that wasn't it wasn't. He didn't do it in a pompous way. I didn't feel like the book was coming from a position of such great height and such, where authors just want to weave these crazily long and they're over elaborated sentences that they want to weave, and just to try and squeeze in, look, I know this word, look, I know this word. Don't feel that Callan did that. He mainly talked about the story and the material that he wanted to talk about, but he used the words to better paint that picture, and it was marvelous. So I think really is a great piece. Yes. So, and another one, for example. I mean, this was a beautiful image. The girl leans over the man, and her hair falls down, and I'm paraphrasing, but covers his face like black wings. And that was, for me, a beautiful image and a wonderful way to express exactly that scene, when you're lying on a bed and the girl's hair falls over your face like black wings. It was just, I couldn't have done that myself. What a beautiful way to express and frame exactly that moment. So that descriptive language just was a beautiful lens into that moment, and I really enjoyed seeing through that lens. So, the plots. Now let's talk about the first line of the book. And the first line of the book is, Sid was a nude sleeper. So straight away we're hooked. I mean, I was hooked by that line. What? Why are we talking about Sid who's sleeping in the nude? It just captivated me from the very beginning. And the stories vary in length in this collection, but every single one of them, I can say, started with a punch, continued and gripped the whole way through, and ended, I think, very poignantly. Every ending's very poignant, and some could be bittersweet endings and some sorrowful endings, but every ending really ties the story up with a ribbon, knots it, and says, that's a package, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I did. I enjoyed every one of those stories from beginning to end, all the way through the middle. So I can say that's why I enjoyed the whole book, because I enjoyed every story in that book as an individual package that was beautifully wrapped from start to finish, and I recommend reading it, and I hope you feel the same way. But I have one more point, and that is I think I've mentioned it before anyway, the material, the people. I really enjoyed reading about that setting. As I say, I suppose that I just really enjoyed reading about those working class people. I found them incredibly relatable, and possibly that's because of the way that Callan Wink wrote. But just in general, when I read Bukowski or when I read Carver, I just was able to relate to all of those people that were just living a regular life. They weren't flying high in the aristocracy. They were just there, living their lives and getting by. So from my perspective, those are regular people, and I really enjoyed reading a story about a regular person, not like a prince or some upper class businessman or a lawyer. No, we're reading about a boy who lives on a farm. We're reading about fishermen. We're reading about farmers, janitors, people with disabilities, and these are the working class characters that made the whole book very interesting to read about. And I love that. I love reading about those people because it's real. And some people might call it dirty realism, because in dirty realism we talk about these supposed low-class characters, or but to me that they are real people, and that is a collection of real stories. Yes, it's fiction, but I really felt as if I could relate to those people, and I really felt like these characters will stay with me now for the rest of my life. Whereas a story about a lawyer or a policeman or a detective is quite forgettable. These characters were raw and honest, and that's why I loved reading every single story in this book. And I think I'm going to leave it there. That's it. 5 out of 5. I really, really strongly recommend this book. I'll probably read it again. And I definitely have been inspired by it. So, there you go. Have a read. I hope you enjoy it. If you do read it, put your comments below and let me know what you think, because I'd love to discuss this one with you. So, that's all for now. Have good whatever you're doing. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.